Switch: How to Change Things When Change is Hard, by Chip and Dan Heath. I have a memory of my baby sister standing on a chair by the kitchen counter, dropping eggs onto the floor. She was saying, "No, no, no, no," as she watched each one splatter. Her expression flittered between a scowl and delight. Clearly, change isn't just about knowing better. Chip and Dan Heath remind us that if knowledge alone were enough to cause change, we probably wouldn't be seeing crazy shrinks and obese doctors and divorced marriage counselors. So they wrote the book Switch to address the larger issue, the whole person, and the specific situation in which the change is needed. Whether you are trying to make a change in behavior for yourself or for a huge organization, Chip and Dan Heath share a perspective that can make change more attainable. It has to do with understanding who we really are. Each person is more than a rational being. The authors look at three driving forces that affect human behavior: reason, emotion, and environment. They borrow and expand an analogy originally used by Jonathan Haidt, author of The Happiness Hypothesis. An elephant represents our emotional side, and the rider of that elephant represents our rational side. Chip and Dan Heath also add the path, the environmental circumstances in which we want the change to take place. They offer three lessons to make change more possible for the elephant and the rider. To instigate change, a leader must direct the rider, motivate the elephant, and shape the path. Direct the rider. As a leader, when you have a change in mind, present it to the rider in a positive light. Point out what is going right so the rider is at ease and more able to share your vision for a change. The author refers to these as bright spots. Then, share the idea that things could be better with a change. Make the vision clear, giving the rider what the authors call a destination postcard. Whether you are dealing with one rider or your team of riders, a vision of the goal makes it possible for all involved to work with you for a goal that they too can see and share in. Then script that change, beginning with the first small step toward the goal. Spell out the expected behaviors needed to attain the change. For example, if you want to improve internal communication in your organization, a specific plan with an attainable step would need to be shared with all the employees. Good change leaders translate goals into concrete steps. Start small. Perhaps it would be helpful to have all employees activate desktop notifications and respond to internal emails within 30 minutes. As the leader, you would need to make sure everyone knows how to activate notifications and how to check them, so part of the scripted behaviors might be having someone delegated to do this. Do not discount this as micromanagement. Clearly scripted steps toward change relieve the rider of having to figure out how to accomplish the goal, ultimately saving him from exhaustion. Motivate the elephant. Of course, the rider is on an elephant, the emotion factor. Change requires that emotions be activated in favor of the change. As stated earlier, knowing something is not enough to cause change. America discovered this when they tackled the smoking problem. Campaigns that focused only on why to quit smoking based on statistical information did not stop smoking. Like the toddler dropping the eggs, we can know better and still not change. An emotional tug is needed. Perhaps you could use a true story about a missed sale or a dropped project because of a communication error. Show how internal communication can make or break your shared success. Emotions can easily overwhelm the rider, so the author suggests that you shrink the change, tackling a big change one aspect at a time. Success in small endeavors will build a growth mindset and propel those involved toward bigger and more difficult aspects of the change as time goes on. After a recent school shooting, for example, a particular school provided an in-service day for staff. The ultimate goal was to make the school as safe as possible. The day involved local law enforcement presentations, enactments, an assessment of the school's safety protocols, and role-playing. While the staff members were all motivated to work for a change, the day was overwhelming, and the changes required to make the school safe seemed monstrous to the staff. However, the first change was very small and attainable. Every staff member and volunteer would wear a badge for easy identification, as recommended by both the fire and police departments. After the in-service day, it seemed a small sacrifice to all the staff members, and they happily cooperated, feeling a part of the important goal at hand. Harder steps would follow, but a history of success had been started. Teachers began to believe that they could indeed change behaviors to help insulate their school from harm. Shape the path. Lastly, The authors point out that adjustments to the environment can help both the rider and the elephant move forward toward positive change. Sometimes the changes are very small, mere nudges that help good decisions be easier to make. Organizing food in a cafeteria is one example. The organization doesn't need to remove unhealthy choices completely, just make healthy choices more readily accessible and visible. A company trying to improve internal communication can post who reports to whom, make schedules transparent and available, and provide software and training to make communication a natural part of the workday flow. The authors say situational changes are like making a straight path and can help make the changes in behaviors needed to reach your goal. And in time, changed behaviors become habits. In truth, the teachers found the badges hard to remember for a while and troublesome to get used to. The administrators allowed them to try the badges with magnet connectors and on lanyards. Small adjustments were made. Instead of picking them up in the office, hooks were put in each classroom for easy access. In time, wearing them became a habit. All staff members were wearing their badges. The behavior had become the new group norm. The authors referred to these kind of habits as free because they no longer take time or energy. The staff was freed up to tackle other changes because this one had been solidified as a habit and become the new norm. Whether you are leading an organization, your own household, or even just yourself through change, a deeper understanding of the human makeup can help you get set up for success in making that change. The scowls of the toddler as she told herself "no, no," and her alternating delight as the eggs burst open on the floor are a good reminder of our human makeup. We are both brain and heart. We are reason and emotion. Leaders who desire to inspire change need to take both aspects of our human makeup into consideration, as well as the environment in which the change is expected to take place. Incremental changes in thoughtfully constructed environments can support our growth and lead to positive change. Thoughtfully constructed environments? That does leave me wondering, why did I have raw eggs available to my little sister in the first place?